Hi everyone, today we're reading Genesis 34. This is the time when Jacob and his sons went to war with the Hamites. I believe this was the first war of the Israelites. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Skechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. Okay, so at the time, Dinah went out with the girls of the land, and the prince seen her, and he raped her. And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Skechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, get me this damsel to wife. Okay, so he asked his dad to get him and her to marry. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Okay, so Jacob found out she got raped. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Skechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it. And the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. Okay, so the brothers found out. She had 12 brothers. She was the only daughter. She was the only girl out of 12 brothers. Okay, so when the brothers were speaking with the dad and the son, they were angry. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Skechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife. And make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and get you possessions therein. Okay, so their offer was to just be peaceful with them and become one people. They married with their people, you know what I'm saying? But Jacob wanted to be a separate people of his own people. He had his own crops, he had his own cattle, he had abundance. So they already wanted what Jacob had anyway, because they felt like if they would commune with them and to trade together, that they'll get a portion of Jacob's goods, right? And Skechem said unto her father and unto her brother, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me, I will give. Ask me never so much dowry and give, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. Okay, so he's offering gifts and anything that they want. He's the prince. And the sons of Jacob answered Skechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah, their sister. Okay, so they didn't care about none of that they was talking about, the brothers, and they didn't care about none of that. They already defiled. They already raped his sister, and then she's still at his house. She's not even back home. And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. Okay? So they believed that they were to get circumcised, okay? So he made an announcement that if they get circumcised, then they can become all one people. But he defiled his sister because she slept with a man who wasn't circumcised, which was basically she was supposed to marry unto her own people and not a Hamite. But in this will we consent unto you, if ye will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if ye will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then we will take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Skechem, Hamor's son. Okay, so the king and the prince was pleased by the proposal that they made, right? And the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter. Okay, so he wanted to do it because he wanted Dinah anyway, right? And he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Skechem his son came unto the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, These men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein, for the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us for to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male amongst us be circumcised, as they are circumcised. Okay, so that was the proposal they gave to all their men, telling them that, they will have to follow suit. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. Okay, so they wanted his cattle and his substance. Okay, like I said, Jacob was a very prosperous man. You see how much stuff he gave to Esau, his brother, right? So and unto Hamor and unto Skechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city, and every male was circumcised. All that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. Okay? So, on the third day when they became sore, all the males, they got their circumcision. Right? And on the third day when they became sore, it only took two brothers, Simeon and Levi. They took their swords, and they ran down there to the city, and they killed all the males. All because of what they did to her sister Dinah. And they got 10 brothers. I mean, they got 12 brothers. It only took 2 of them to kill out the whole city, right? And they slew Hamor and Skechem his son with the edge of the sword. So they killed the king and the prince. And took Dinah out of Skechem's house and went out. Dang. Ooh, they cold. They was cold. They was cold. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city because they defiled their sister. Okay? So they basically spoiled that whole city. They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses and that which was in the city and that which was in the field and all their wealth and all their little ones and their wives took they captive and spoiled even all that was in the house. Okay? So they took all the spoils of war, right? They called booties, right? They took all the wealth and everything that was good. They took even the kids, manservants, maidservants. They took the girls, the wives, and they killed all the men, right? And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, and I am my house. Okay? So you gotta understand the king Sketchum, the king Hammer and Sketchum, his son, the prince, they were Hamites, right? So their family line are the Perizzites, the Canaanites, okay? And they're all a people who have other cities and other kings and stuff like that. So once they find out what happened, they're going to go to war with Jacob's family, right? And that's what Jacob was telling his sons, okay? That Simeon and Levi had brought trouble his way because once they find out, they're going to slay him, okay? So the sons said, and they said, should he deal with our sister as with an harlot? Okay, a harlot is a whore or a hoe or a prostitute. Okay, so they said, should they have dealt with his sister like that? So that was very, very disrespectful. Very, very disrespectful. So they went and killed the whole city over a sister. Right? And God said unto Jacob, arise, go to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. Okay? So God told him to get up and move. Okay? So that was the instinct that he had on him, He was probably spooked anyway. He's scared. So he got on anyway. But that was God telling him to go to Bethel, you know what I'm saying, for safety. Right? And he remembered the time when he was about to face with Esau and Esau's 300 men. And he remembered how God had saved him from the face of Esau. So he had faith that God would save him also from this trouble. Okay? And then Jacob said unto his household and to all that were with him, put away the strange gods that are among you and be clean and change your garments. Okay? So he made everyone only praise the God of Israel, right? All the false gods, for all the people who came and joined on with them and all his servants, he told them they got to get rid of the false god. Right? And then they got to be clean, right? So everyone had to be circumcised, right? So now everyone is coming to one people, right? And let us arise and go to Bethel And I will make thee an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way in which I went. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hand, and all their earrings which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. And they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were round about them, and they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob. Okay, so the city was scared. So God put a fear over all the cities for them not to attack Jacob's family. Okay, because they seen how they tore it up and they left it with all the men dead, right? So Jacob came to Luz, which is in the land of Canaan, that is Bethel, he and all the people that were with him, and he built there an altar and called the place El Bethel, because there God appeared unto him when he fled from the face of his brother, which is Esau, right? But Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried beneath Bethel, under an oak, and the name of it was called Elad Bachuth. And God appeared unto Jacob again when he came out of Padanaram, and blessed him. And God said unto him, Thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. Okay, so this is where God had blessed Jacob and turned his name into Israel. Okay, this was a troubled time for Jacob, which he came back to Bethel in the place and the time where he met the angel, right? Before he met Esau, right? So he remembered that time, went back to Bethel and praised and made an altar to God. And there, God changed his name to Israel, right? So he probably wanted to disguise himself anyway amongst the people, right? Because they probably was all, it was Jacob's family. So now his name will become new, and God changed his name to Israel. Israel. So now amongst the people, he's no longer Jacob. He's Israel. Right? And God said unto him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. Okay? So this is where God gave him the prophecy of the nation and kings becoming of him. Right? So we know that through Judah, his fourth son, Judah, everybody throw up the four, right? So his fourth son, Judah, we know that kings came out of Judah. We know the ultimate king, which is Jesus Christ, came from the loins of Judah, right? David came from Judah, right? Solomon came from Judah, right? We know that even Benjamin, Saul, was the first king, a Benjamite, right? He was even the king. So these are kings that came out of the loins of Israel. Jacob, which surname is Israel, right? He said nations. His nations were the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So that was the chosen. God had chosen the Jacob through Isaac and Abraham, his forefathers, right? Who were also blessed, right? Look, here we go right here. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land. And God went up from him in the place where he talked with him. And Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he talked with him, even a pillar of stone. And he poured a drink offering thereon, and he poured oil thereon. And Jacob called the name of the place where God spake with him Bethel. For a little bit of drink. Oh, that's what we be doing, huh? For a little bit of drink out, huh? For a little bit of drink out. Well, he probably had the little frankincense myrrh oil too, though. Olive oil. Okay. And Jacob called the name of the place where God spake with him Bethel. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was built a little way to come to Ephrath. And Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. And it came to pass, when she was in hard labor, that the midwife said unto her, Fear not, thou shalt have this son also. And it came to pass, as her soul was in departing, for she died, that she called his name Benani. But his father called him Benjamin. And Rachel died and was buried in the way to Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. And Jacob set a pillar upon her grave. That is the pillar of Rachel's grave unto this day. And Israel journeyed and spread his tent beyond the tower of Edar. And it came to pass, when Israel dwelt in that land, that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah his father's concubine, and Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. When Israel left the father Jacob, his oldest son Reuben slept with his concubine Bilhah, right? Which Reuben had brothers and sisters who were Bilhah kids, right? And he slept with her when his father was gone.